to our next session, that is management of water resource in agriculture. As we all know, agriculture has been very successful at capturing the major share of world exploitable water resources. The socio-economical rationale for this capture by the sector is now being questioned. So, to enlighten some more light on this topic, I would like to call Professor P.K. Sinha.
P.K. Singh.
P.K. in the field of irrigation and drainage engineering, especially in the area of micro irrigation and practical cultivation. He has published about 150 research papers in journals and proceedings in international and national. He has guided about 30 MTech and PhD scholars. He has been awarded as eminent engineer by the Institute of Engineer India.
Good afternoon to one and all. First of all, I must thank to the organizer for providing this opportunity to this forum. My presentation is a bit different, and since yesterday and today till now, we are seeing all these groundwater, water management, water supply, water security. But here you can see the first slide is related to agriculture. Of course, irrigation is important because yesterday there was a discussion, there was a mention that irrigation efficiency is less than 30%. And 70% of the water that in our country is utilized for the irrigation purpose for the agriculture. So how we can improve upon, how we can apply we can reduce the losses, how we can increase the efficiency, irrigation efficiency, water use efficiency, and moreover the water productivity. So in this regard, my presentation is on precision irrigation and fertigation. Of course, if you see related to agriculture, this irrigation and fertigation, management of water and nutrients are very important, and both go side by side, and then only we can achieve the maximum water and nutrient productivity. See, these are some of the general issues we have seen, and we know most of us, we know that what are the resources that is available with us, what are the liabilities with us, with our country, and you can see the prediction, how the per capita availability of water is going down by down with the time, and we have to manage moreover with the less water availability in the future. See, another aspect, why this efficiency is very low, less than 30%. Someone say it is less than 25%. Say if it is 35%, also there is losses of 65%. So these are the reasons. These are the reasons how badly we manage the irrigation. This is the fact. Go to the field, go to the farmer's field. These are the fact. And why this? If you go back after the creation of different irrigation projects in our country, and see the around 8 million hectares area that has gone out of cultivation in the irrigated command of India because of the wrong practices that we adopted for the irrigation. And there is a quote that management is very important. Our management is very poor, thereby these things are occurring. See, these are some of the estimates that if you go with the different methods of irrigation, conventional method of irrigation, that is surface method of irrigation, irrigation efficiency is maximum for 30 to 45% depending on the season to season. If we can go for the recent method, or we call it high modern method of irrigation, that is at some forum it is called precision irrigation, that is sprinkler and drip irrigation. If you combine it, we call it micro irrigation in the sense of the policy makers. Efficiency are much higher. up to 90%, 95%. And thereby, if you see, if you look back the data of 2017, March 17, 9 million hectares, 90 lakhs hectare area has been covered under the micro irrigation, that is both surface, sprinkler and drip irrigation. If you go back, maybe 20 years back, in 1985 area was just 1500 hectares in our country. So with the time, the modern irrigation system are being adopted by the farmers in our country and with the support provided by the government of India and state governments. See, site specific, if you see here the variability of moisture. Variability of moisture even a small field of land. Somewhere the dry patch, somewhere is a very wet patch. So how we have to manage this? Management of this variability is a precision irrigation. It not only apply everywhere same amount of water. Depending on the soil moisture content, we have to apply the water in a variable mode. That is the precision irrigation. See, gain in water use efficiency can be achieved when water application is precisely matched with the specially distributed groundwater demand as a central principle underlying the precision irrigation. So this is how we have to go with it. See here, soil moisture content at different point in the field that shows the performance of the crop. So we have to apply the variable amount of irrigation depending on the place to place, that is site specific irrigation. And even compaction is another important. The soil compaction is more, performance of the crop will be less. So that has to also to be managed. Therefore, how to go with, how to manage this variability? Definitely we have to go for the precision method of irrigation, variable where we can apply the irrigation at variable rate. Why precision? These are the various points that there is gain in efficient, effective water and fertilizer use, agrochemical technical advantages, and of course the advantage related to the energy, labor and weed control. See here, if the better root growth lead to the strong shoot, and how you can go with this better root growth, that has to be managed through the irrigation and fertigation. These are the other advantages. Now, what are the principles that behind the precision irrigation? So these are the crux of precision irrigation. Irrigation scheduling. Normally we say when to irrigate and how much to irrigate, depth of irrigation and time of irrigation. But once you are dealing with the precision irrigation system, then 2 points also are added. Right place where you have to apply the irrigation. Target is effective root zone of the plants, from where you can get the maximum efficiency. And fourth one, that is the right manner. Because nowadays we have various, maybe 100 types of emission devices available with the sprinkler and micro irrigation system. So which is most important? That you have to choose. And therefore, combining all these through traditional irrigation scheduling, when to irrigate, how much to irrigate, now we have to add where to irrigate and how to irrigate, that manner in which we have to apply the irrigation. And this, if you combine these 4 things, that is the precision irrigation system. Now the groundwater requirement, how we have to do, these are the functions of soil, crop, climatic demand and cultivation environment. Whether you are going for the open cultivation or protected cultivation. Protected means greenhouse cultivation, shaded cultivation or different other kind of protected technologies. So that also has to be added here. See, this is how to estimate the water requirement. Simple, everybody knows that is the reference evapotranspiration multiplied with the crop factor depending on the crop at different stages. Then see how the crop portion varies. And if you are dealing with the big trees, orchards, these are the crop coefficient with the different condition, crop cover condition with the different level of canopy coverage. Then if you are going with the micro irrigation system, again you have to apply the reduction coefficient, Kr value. And how to find out the Kr value? This is the relationship. So with the traditional water requirement, with the traditional method of irrigation, that has to be transferred to the micro irrigation system, and for that Kr value has to be added. And this is how Kr value depends on the coverage area, canopy area, and ground coverage area. Another way, if you are dealing with the close growing crops, this is how you can find out the water requirement. Depend on if you have a panning operation data, you have a crop coefficient data, plant to plant spacing, row to row spacing, and how much weighted percentage you are going, 60% or 90%, or maybe in between. And these are some of the estimated that crop water requirement that we have worked out at the Pantnagar condition for different crops like mango, lychee, then some of the vegetable crops. Even we also work on for the sugar cane and paddy. See, right time of irrigation, we have keep the plant in very comfortable zone related to the soil moisture. And we know that the field capacities, if you can maintain the soil moisture near field capacity, it is fair enough. Under such condition, there is a maximum uptake of water and nutrient, and thereby the plant flourishes. So this zone you have to maintain. Other side of this is going to affect the crop performance. Well, other way, if you have this data, you have to maintain at which level, depending on the crop, you have to go for the irrigation. But the soil should be kept near the field capacity for higher water and fertilizer use efficiency. See, for the different method of irrigation, because the frequency is different. Micro irrigation, if you are dealing with the protected cultivation, you may have to irrigate maybe 3 times, maybe 6 times per day. For the surface method of irrigation, say 10 days interval, say 15 days interval, sometimes 20 days interval. So depending on how the soil moisture tension increases or decreases. But our objective is to reduce the soil moisture tension. If the soil moisture is decreasing, means tension increases and it is going to affect the crop performance. So with the micro irrigation, you can see the frequency. Under such cases, we have much control on the water. We have a control of every drop of the water, and thereby you can maintain the soil moisture near the field capacity throughout the crop period under the micro irrigation system, that is high frequency irrigation system. Now this is how you can estimate or calculate the readily available water. Another way, you can apply the sensors, soil moisture sensors, tensiometer or other soil moisture sensors that indicate the soil moisture condition. And accordingly you can schedule the irrigation. This is the right time to irrigate. Maybe after 1 day you have to provide the irrigation, another 2 days there is no irrigation requirement. Again, suppose if you want to maintain the soil moisture between the say 20 to 40 kilopascal. When the soil moisture decreases to the level of, or soil moisture tension increases to level of 40 kilopascal, irrigate it. When it reaches to 20, stop irrigation, then you can go on likewise. This is you can see here the soil moisture sensor, that is tensiometer, if you are going with the automation system, hydraulic valve, that you can integrate with the microprocessor or controller. So automatically it can maintain the swallow moisture within the specified swallow moisture regime. Daily, we can see what is the demand from morning to the evening. See here one of the automation system that we installed long back at Pantnagar, that is the computer controlled micro irrigation system. Now right place to irrigate. See here in surface method of irrigation, swallow moisture or water that is going beyond the root zone, that is not required. But other side drip irrigation system, only the effective root zone of plant has been irrigated, or moisture has been provided to the effective root zone of the plant. So blank area, that is the water saving. Besides that 70%, 80% water saving, it means we are reducing the losses. We are reducing the losses, and that is the saving. Again, depending on the swallow texture, whether it's a light texture swallow, medium texture swallow, or heavy texture swallow, accordingly we have to place the dripper. What should be this emitter spacing? Depending on the swallow texture. Light texture swallow, if you provide the higher capacity of dripper, water will go down. There will be the losses. So that has to be optimized according to the swallow moisture, swallow texture. Here you can this picture this other way. High discharge of the same swallow, low discharge. This will be the weighted front. See here, this is the thumb rule, or you can see here for the different types of swallow. What is the dripper spacing? Say in the case of the light texture swallow, dripper spacing is 30 to 60 centimeter. For the medium texture swallow, you can go up to the 1 meter. So depending on the swallow texture, we have to place the dripper accordingly. See, this is the picture of point source micro irrigation system. That is you can see at every plant there is a dripper or emission point. See, this more than 90% is sand. Cannot cultivate normally with the conventional method of irrigation with such type of soil, sandy soil, pure sand. But this is beauty of this micro irrigation system. Strength of micro irrigation system, even with the desert, you can convert it to the green land. And crop like this, plus 500 quintals per hectare of potato, you can cultivate with the desert land with the strength of micro irrigation system. So depending on the, see, this texture is light, one drip line per row of the crop. For the medium texture swallow, same crop, one drip line for the 2 row of the crop. Of course here paired system is required. You can see subsurface drip system. If the crop is like lychee, you can see it's a 5-year-old lychee orchard. 4 liter per hour capacity of 2 dripper is fair enough. Another way, other side you can see here, it's a 30-year-old lychee. Spaced at 12 meter by 12 meter. Water requirement during the month of May is as high as 200 liters per day. So a small capacity of dripper will not work. So therefore we have to shift to the high discharge emission system, we call it bubbler system. Run for half an hour, requirement is fulfilled. This is cracking, problem of fruit cracking. Go for the over canopy micro sprinkling. You can modify the micro environment. You can modify the micro environment and you can reduce the fruit cropping from 20% to less than 3%. Under tree irrigation, again to modify the microenvironment favorable for the crop with the sprinkler system. So right manner, all these micro sprinkler, bubbler, drip irrigation, microjet, different kind of 100 types of emission devices are available in the market. You can choose according to your crop. Micro irrigation, this is the typical layout of micro irrigation system, including all the system. Water source, different type of filtration system, fertigation system, distribution network, and of course emitters. For the small farmers, say a farmer, very poor farmer, having very small piece of land, how he can irrigate? Go for such type of system. Gravity head micro irrigation system. Cost for say 400 to 600 square meter area is just 12 to 15,000 rupees, including the cost of the tank. Very simple device system. Different types, surface we have seen, subsurface in case of Motet 2 we have seen, bubbler, micro sprinkler we have seen. Even these drippers, we have online, we have inline drippers, we have pressure compensating drippers. Suppose if you are dealing with the undulated terrain, where you cannot, it is very difficult to maintain the uniform pressure. Go for the PC dripper, pressure compensating drippers. Inline for the row crop, close growing row crops, to reduce the cost of system, go for the inline micro irrigation system. Bubbler we have seen, micro sprinkler for the different kind of applications. Drip line in flowers, under the protected cultivation, micro sprinklers, foggers. So these are the application of micro irrigation in different crops, which type of system you can choose, how you can work out the water requirement, how you can place the dripper, where to irrigate. So these are about the precision irrigation. Other part, nutrition. Because this is another part you can see here, efficiency of different nutrients. Nitrogen use efficiency under the conventional method of irrigation and fertilizer application, it is 30 to 50%. Means if you are applying 100 kg of urea to your field, 50 kg is waste, going to waste if you are dealing with the conventional system of irrigation and fertilizer application. But switch to the drip irrigation system, no fertigation, efficiency goes up to the level of 65%. Combine both, you can achieve the efficiency up to the 95%. So this is the beauty of the micro irrigation system and fertigation system for the nutrient saving. Other nutrients, important nutrients, phosphorus, potassium, we can see how the efficiency, use efficiency increases from 20 to 45%, from 50 to 80%. And rest of the things are other advantages also given here. See here why nutrient leaching, in case of nitrogen, nitrate leaching is a major problem with the conventional method of irrigation and fertilizer application. With the drip irrigation system, micro irrigation or precision irrigation system, you can maintain because our target is effective root zone of the plant. And therefore all the nutrients remains there. And thereby the efficiency increases tremendously. Application in different crops. See this you can maintain within the effective root zone where the water reaches, fertilizer reaches. Now how we can work out the requirement? depending on the crop yield, you have a target yield of may be 100 quintals per hectare or 300 quintals per hectare or so. So depending on the target yield, variety, cultivation environment, either it's a greenhouse cultivation or open cultivation. Based on the nutrient analysis of the plants, see here, look at the tomato. You can see the nutrient that is there in the fruits, other side in the plant. So accordingly, see in case of the fruit, K is the major portion. So during the fruit development and fruit maturity, our focus is to provide the K-rich nutrient, potassium-rich nutrient, so that you can get the better fruit, greater size and quality of the tomato. Similar with the other fruits and vegetable crop. See, for the grain, like maize here, in the grain, N is more. So that time you have to apply more N nutrient. So this is how you can schedule the fertilizer, nutrient to the crop, so that you can get the better yield and quality produce. Other cereal crop, barley. So this is how the scheduling, nutrient scheduling is done from the planting or sowing to the harvesting. Target yield 100 ton per hectare. So this is how the analysis part is here. For the 60 ton per hectare, requirement is less. How you can schedule from day 1 to before the harvest. See, 99 different kind of water soluble fertilizers are available. That is requirement for the fertigation. So 1818, 1919, 721. So accordingly, you can choose the right type of composition at the right time of fertigation. For other crops, for potato, sorghum, for the fruit crop like lychee, you can see here the nutrient scheduling that we have adopted at Pantnagar and we have standardized at Pantnagar condition. Water requirement you can see here for the crop like this. Orchard, we put this orchard under the micro irrigation and fertigation right from 2005, and we harvested up to 5 quintals per tree. It started with the 100 kg per kg to 500 kg per tree, and this is the increment of 400 kg per tree with the application of micro irrigation and fertigation. And of course, the modifying the micro environment also. See, at the fruiting at the time of just before the harvesting of the lychee tree, this tree has given 500 kg per tree. Yeah. This is the scheduling and requirement for the other tree also. You can see here for the sugar cane, for the banana, these are the nutrient requirement. Now the soil analysis again depend on the soil texture. This is the thumb rule. Nitrogen, if you don't have the nutrient data that is available in the soil, these are the thumb rule. Apply with the factor with the 1.3, 2 and 1.4 and apply this, because it is very difficult to get the soil analysis of every field. How much nutrient, that is what is the export and import, based on the balance we have to work out the nutrient requirement. Method of application, micro irrigation, we have different kind of injectors available. Venturi, passive injectors, venturi, attractive, utilization of suction side of the irrigation pump, and active, there are active injectors of fertigation system, that is pistol pump and diaphragm pump. These are the different kind of fertigation system available in the market. You can choose according to your pocket size and according to your requirement. Of course, because the range is maybe from 2,000 rupees per unit to maybe up to 30,000 per unit. How you can work out? Now, depending on the fertilizer that we have, these are the various types of fertilizers, water soluble fertilizers available in the market. But only two things are required for fertigation. It should be 100% water soluble. It should be 100% water soluble, and there should not be precipitation. This is the basic requirement for the fertigation. And accordingly, you can choose the different nutrient as per your requirement, and you may mix one or two nutrients, but this point has to be considered. There should not be any precipitation. Concentration that we have said, it is maximum 2%, 2 kg per 100 liter of water. That is fair enough. There are recommendations that you can go up to the 5%, 5 kg per 100 liter of water, but 2%, 1 to 2 kg per 100 liter is fair enough. It will not damage your crop. Different kind of water soluble and liquid fertilizers are available that you can choose. You can see some of the photograph. Most of the photograph that is from our experiments conducted at Pantnagar or maybe at different KVKs. Thank you.